We need your support. Yes, yours. We need it now more than ever. Currently, we can't use actual raw footage. We're working to fix this soon. Until then, please stay with us in this tough time. We need you. We're extremely sorry for this temporary setback. We promise we're creating something that will blow your mind. Something you've never seen before. Until then, please support us.
All right, folks, listen up. We got to talk about Arsenal. Arteta's got them playing some sexy football. I'm not going to lie, but there's a brutal truth here, and we're going to unpack it. Top of the table for how long? And then, boom, same old Arsenal. Look, for a long time it looked like Arsenal were going all the way. They were playing with swagger, confidence, but then the pressure mounted. The expectations, man, they just seemed to crush them. Missed chances, defensive blunders, a lack of leadership when it mattered most. It was painful to watch, man, giving up points, losing to teams they should be beating. The question is, what the hell happened? Let's be honest, there are some glaring issues with this Arsenal squad, and we're not talking about a lack of talent. They've got some seriously gifted players. But talent alone doesn't win you titles. You need mental toughness. Arteta, for all his tactical genius, has to take some responsibility too. His game management, let's just say it needs work. Alright, so we've talked about the symptoms. Now let's get into the root causes of Arsenal's meltdown. It's not just about the results on the pitch, it's about the underlying issues that have been festering for a while. First off, let's talk about squad depth. Arsenal's bench lacks the quality and experience needed to compete at the highest level. Arteta's system, as beautiful as it can be, is incredibly demanding. It requires players to be at their peak physically and mentally, game after game. These guys are pressing, making runs, playing high-intensity football week in, week out. The physical toll is immense. But what happens when the fatigue sets in? The players start to slow down, and their performance drops. The wheels start to come off. Mistakes become more frequent, and the team's cohesion begins to crumble. The backup options just aren't there. The bench lacks the depth to replace tired or injured starters effectively. Arteta's running his starters into the ground, and when they hit a wall, there's no one to pick up the slack. The team becomes over-reliant on a few key players. This team is fragile, man. The lack of depth and the demanding system make them vulnerable to injuries and burnout. Chapter 4: Squad Burnout. Intensity is a hell of a drug. It's exhilarating, it's effective, but it's also unsustainable over a long season. Arteta's system, for all its brilliance, is built on this high-octane, all-out approach, and it works until it doesn't. Because here's the thing, human beings aren't machines. They get tired, they get injured. And when you're relying on the same core group of players week after week, something's gotta give. Arteta's system demands intensity, pressing, positional discipline, and high-risk football. Chapter 5: Mental Fragility. Look, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the mental fortitude to match, you're gonna crumble when the pressure's on. It's not just about skill, it's about having the mental strength to handle the big moments, the crucial decisions, and the weight of expectations, and that's Arsenal's biggest problem right now. They're mentally weak. They falter when the stakes are high, and it shows in their performances. The pressure gets to them, and they can't seem to rise above it. They lack leaders on the pitch, guys who can grab the game by the scruff of the neck and impose their will, leaders who can inspire and motivate their teammates, who can turn the tide when things aren't going their way. They need players who thrive under pressure, who relish the big moments, not shrink from them. This current crop, they seem to disappear when the going gets tough, and that's a huge issue. They need an injection of that same grit, that same winning mentality. It's about building a culture of resilience where every player knows how to handle adversity and come out stronger. Until they find it, they're going to keep coming up short. They need to dig deep, find that inner strength, and transform their mindset if they want to succeed. Don't get me wrong, Arteta's a brilliant tactical mind. His system, when it's clicking, is a thing of beauty. But there's a problem. It's become too predictable. Opposing teams have figured it out. They know how to stifle Arsenal's attack, how to shut down their creative outlets, and that's where things fall apart. Alright, let's talk game management, because this is another area where Arteta needs to improve significantly if Arsenal are to become a top-tier team. Too often we see Arsenal dominating games, playing beautiful football, only to shoot themselves in the foot with poor decision-making in crucial moments. It's like they lose their focus when it matters the most. They don't know how to kill games off, and this is a critical skill for any successful team. They go up a goal, and instead of pressing their advantage, they sit back, invite pressure, and allow the opposition back into the game. This passive approach often leads to unnecessary stress and lost points. It's frustrating to watch, man. The fans feel it, the players feel it, and it creates a negative atmosphere. Arteta needs to trust his gut to make bold decisions and to manage the game according to the situation. He has to be proactive, not reactive. Control the tempo, dictate the play, and don't let the game control you. This is how champions are made, by mastering the art of game management. We've covered a lot of ground here, folks, but we're not done yet. These issues run deep, and we need to delve even further to understand how Arteta can fix them. Because here's the thing, I believe in this team. They have the potential to be great, but potential only gets you so far. So, join me next time as we explore the solutions, the tactical tweaks, and the mental shifts that Arteta and his squad need to make to reach the next level.